Fuck this off here. Don't get it yet till I tell you honest.
Oh, that's right. I got plenty of it. Now, there's one in there.
Yeah, I know. Now, this,
Archie Gold on the guitar and me on the fiddle. Glen Rickman had claim was rich. So we're going to start out, we're going to start to play the Play with the Waltz.
you want to get that.
I got going. Seconder, isn't he? Does he work here in town?
Oh, Tulsa.
Beaumont Rag now, Archie. Thank you.
Fill that side with this music, you don't do anything but put the Civil War on the other side. But he was that one going.
Yeah, that's fine.
Wedding of the Faries, Waltz.
Take me back to Tulsa. Give the fiddler Dram. See, let's get that,
Blackberry Blossom.
Well, you're not going to pay him for that.
Well, no.
No, I brought that because you're nice enough to spend some time with. You know, the other night I thought I'd tell you, you played. You talk about 90 minutes playing everything. You couldn't come close to it. You played. Let's see, about almost between around 25 tunes when Harold and I were here the other evening.
I did.
Yeah, we had an hour and a half of tape. Actually, going on 2 hours. Of course, we had a lot of talking in there. Now here.
But anyhow,
yeah, that's what's okay.
Anyhow, I think you'll like what I'm putting on.
Okay. All righty.
Now, let me see that. This is it, Daddy.
Huh?
Let me see if this is a Jim Walford.
You didn't get that out of the sack?
No, it's Jim Walford on this side. Now, on the other side, I think it's where you sung me a nice little song on this other.
Is this overhold?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure is. You want to take this off that's on here and see if this is
No. We go.
Jim
How
Walford?
much tape have you got with you?
Oh, he's
Oh,
got
I
it off.
got a lot of tape.
Well,
yeah.
all right. We'll just.
Let's take
All
this
right.
off and see
I'll
if
Get
this is Jim
part
Walford.
music and part talking this time if we could. I want to.
Well, Shorty,
That's
I
all
can.
right.
Oh,
Whatever you want to do. is
well,
fine.
let me see.
Just put that up. Now.
And this is your Jim Walford right here. I want to see if that was showing up there.
Well, if you got some more on there, why just.
Well, I
whatever.
have, but I'm just find the Jim Walford, and then I'll take the Jim Walford.
Jim Walford's back at the front. That's it.
Yeah.
That's some history.
You know, did you want a drink of this?
No,
Well, I don't either now.
No.
I've got me on 3 pills a day. I ain't had a checkup for 14 months, and I'm supposed to go back to Peterson the 19th, and
I'm trying to keep him on.
and I go to let's see where was that?
Really back at the front. And Jim Walford's right.
Who's on your race, the first place? Oh,
That's your history right
Yeah.
there. That's your history. So I'll get out here and let you alone.
Well, I don't know where this is Jim Walford.
Go back to the first of it and you'll see.
Okay.
It's got Jim Walford Road on it.
Oh, well, then it's... No, I'll tell you, Gordon, I wouldn't do this for everybody. But people it's wrapped up, dyed in the wool like me and you,
Yeah.
why, that's...
You don't realize how few there are like us. I've got all these things and people know books and records and tapes. It means nothing to them.
Well, they have. Well, that's it.
Okay.
But we'll go ahead and finish this.
Okay. That'd be fine.
This is a Civil War song, and I'll lay this right there.
Okay.
And let me see, I've got 3 in all later.
Let's see, there's 3 more here. That's empty there. That's empty. That's for the one that's in there. There's the other 2. Here's a couple. Ththese are empties.
Shorty, did you take any
Yeah.
more out of the satchel?
Yeah, I think that Jim Walford out the second thing.
Well, it was, did you put them others back in?
I'll put it right there.
Put the Marion and
This is it. This is your Jim Walford right there.
well, put them no, here's your Jim Walford over here.
Right here. Yeah. And there's the box that goes in.
Well,
Right
I
there.
want that right there.
And this is your Max Hilton sermon right here.
Well,
And this is your moke.
We'll put them together because don't want to put them back in the satchel.
That means that.
Now, what's this?
I think that's you and Breckle and
Oh, okay.
well, wait just a minute, let me look and see. Yeah, that's you and Archie and Breckle on one side and you and Archie on the other side.
Oh,
And this is your sermon chair.
you know, talking about liquor, it's just about one kind, I guess. If they quit making rye, I wouldn't buy no more. I was raised up on rye, and my dad always told me he wished he could handle liquor like me. Dad wasn't satisfied, he'd see the bottom of the bottle. And I'd go along this
Now, honey, I'll set that like that down there with your legs.
little satchel.
Yeah.
Now let me see.
Now, don't you stop talking or the phone or anything because I'm here. Now, I don't want to, put you out any.
You ain't gonna put us
Well,
out. I want the clothes line together, clothes.
Well, all right. Okay.
All right, here we
Now,
go.
there's nobody, I'm not worried, should I lock that car? I got the guitar in there. I didn't think so. See, I live in Springfield now. I live in Springfield, see?
Well, we live in a
Which
pretty nice
used to be just like this. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, now go.
Now, let me see, have you got her turned on
Yeah,
now?
here, yes, there. Now she's
1,
going.
2, 3, 4.
What's that?
Old Aunt Katie, there's a bug on me. That tune, they played it and Gone with the Wind.
Oh,
I don't know what they call it.
yeah.
Tony Point.
Well, Archie's good. You've only played one song.
Huh?
You've only played one song, but you played the other night. You haven't repeated it one.
Well, that
No,
is.
Get the fiddle Dram.
Sugar in the coffee. Huh?
How long you two played together?
About 22 years. He's only about 45 or 50.
My age, yeah, I'm 44, so that's the way, yeah. I heard Jay talk. Jay Frank said that. So I always remember Silver Gold. You can't forget that man. I met him, of course I remember the name. Oh, Lord, that closest friends. See, Susan and Mom are the closest friends. In fact, if I had thought, well, Lena Pearl, let's see if I had, the weather had been nice. I finally got hold of her. But Gordon and the other daughter,
They drank short of that and my dad first
because Lena, we've talked about, I mentioned this, everybody else. And they want to come down sometime, so I said, well, that's fine. I said, if, I'm sure they'd like to see you too, so maybe sometime we'll all.
I'll tell you,
Well, they're our closest, see, Susie and Mona, my wife, are the closest of friends. And then, of course, our children are the same age, they're 1 year apart. Our daughter's 22 and Cindy's 21 now, and then my boy Chuck's 19 and Sally's 18. So we've been just intermeshed, and we lived across the street from Dave Frank and Lena for quite a few years, and now Susie and Charles live just a few blocks south of us. And then we were there last Sunday night. It was Susie's birthday, I think it was. We went to dinner out with Dave Frank and Lena and this,
Oh,
yeah, there. And Billy and Bess and everybody.
See, she was a nurse out at Burge Hospital. Of course, she was over the Drury College teacher.
Yeah.
And I had to go and have my appendix out. And of course, the little girls that helped take my appendix out helped in the operating room while they went back and told Lena that so there's some woman down here now that says she's not that long. Says that's the shortest person I ever saw in my life.
Well, of course, when they heard Harold calling you Shorty, they said, well, that's Lena's nickname. I thought, well, Drury says Shorty. And I thought, well, there's another Shorty now, too.
They're really fine.
Oh, yeah, well, and, of course, Jay made me a tape, and you have got to hear it sometime. Because Jay is one of the best storytellers. Now, really, well, but now everybody talks about it. Now, Dewey's a good storyteller, he is, but I don't know, I think old Jay Frank is, I kind of give Jay the edge a little bit, because, maybe because I'm around Jay more. Dewey's told quite a few, but, incidentally, Dewey, I guess, isn't doing too well now. I asked him the other night, they talked to, my mind gone back, William, they called William, and, that character. And they talked to him for quite a while. And Dewey, he was sick here, not long ago, and he just didn't. Now, Helen's evidently doing pretty good. They say she still has a little bit of problem every once in a while. But she's evidently coming back pretty good. She had a little stroke, Yeah, about 6 months ago. But it was the kind that didn't, no paralysis, and so those kind of things. Get over pretty well.
Glen's grandmother and Dewey's mother are sisters.
Mealy?
Yeah, Aunt Mealy and Cindy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's where the Rickman. I knew I'd heard that somewhere before. See, when Jay made this tape, he told all about let's see, Cindy, is she the one that died? Yeah, and then there were two. His grandfather, the first wife died, and then he married again.
No, that's not grandfather.
Okay, that was one he was talking about. That's somebody else he was talking about there. Okay. But now, Mealy and Cindy, that's right. Yeah.
And, I don't know, there's a whole train.
Oh, well, yeah. Everybody. See, Mona's grandfather is Martin Little. They were clever for years and years. Of course, there's so many little Littles up there. And then her grandmother, Willie, was a Davis. And, of course, then Mona, her dad was a Pierce. And, of course, the little, I can go anywhere in this area, and I can say, well, I'm Mark. Oh, you're Uncle Mark's grandson-in-law. Yeah, you know, they're always related to someone. Which is good. It's changing. I hate to see it, but that's
The old ones is the latest.
yeah.
I'll get out. I'm going to close.
All right, here I go with it. You're going to turn her on now?
Yeah, okay.
All right, here
Now,
we go. Carroll County Blues with me and
Okay.
Archie.
Carroll County Blues.
Very good.
I've been debating on what to buy. I don't know. Sony does a good job, I guess. Doesn't it?
Oh, I'd love to got all that waltz on there, but,
Well, start over. That's all right, because it almost got it, but I'm starting on the other side now. So
you started on the other side?
yeah.
Well, I'll run back.
Certainly does.
I'll see it, but. Got that sorry,
Well, that Archie Gold is a good seconder, isn't he? He just walks all over that.
I've played with him, Idaho, National Fiddlers Contest, I mean, True to Consequence and all of them. And I found a couple that come up with him, but I ain't found nobody go around him.
Yeah. Well, he really.
This one runs it back to Dodgem fashion.
Yeah.
You always go farther than you aim to. Now let me see. Start yours up.
Okay.
Going.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, we kind of messed up on the Georgiana moon on the other side, and I'm going to start it off now so I can get it all on there on this side. All of this guitar picking is by Archie Gold, and the fiddling is yours truly, Glen Rickman here at Crane, and any imitation whatsoever of a violinist is purely coincidental. And Archie, he always says any imitation of Chet Atkins is a coincidence with him. But anyhow, why, if a person don't like to hear it, well, all they got to do is turn the knob. It's pastime for us. But let me see. I'll start off now with this Georgiana Moon Waltz. Georgiana Moon Waltz. see, I'm gonna get the Jim Wolford. Does it say Jim Wolford on either one there?
Here, this one, oh, it says, Glen, oh no, that's Glen and Archie, that's May 7th. I think it's over on your left there. One of those, I think, is the one she said.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, there.
Now,
Yeah.
see what I forgot to turn it right.
Feed his family.
Yeah. You got it going?
Yeah.
This next deal I'm putting on here, why, Jim Wolford made a song and pertaining to the Civil War, of Grandpa Long involved, which is Dewey Short's grandpa, as well as J. Frank's great-grandpa, and my great-grandpa as well. But Jim made a song on this, so we'll hear you more about it. It's about the Wilson Creek and Grandpa Rhodes, which is not my grandpa. He was the first husband of my Aunt Mealy Long. It was killed at Wilson Creek. But anyhow, here's the story, and here's just a song that Jim Wolford wrote that married a Huffines girl, a cousin of mine. So here we go, Jim Wolford, with your tape and your song.
Well, he had to leave his family. It was a long ride, you see. Had to join the attack to drive the rebels back to help the Union victory. And it happened a long time ago, in some battle we may never know. But on some battleground, Grandpa Rhodes was shot down as he gallantly stood to face the foe. A message was sent to his bride that she must make this long ride. Her man lay on his bed, soon he would be dead, and wanted her by his side. So she left Burrville, Arkansas, riding along with her pa. Down through the hills they came to a town called Crane, in a territory that knew no law. As they rounded a bend, they saw a wagon of bushwhacking men. Right up, says Paul said, if they catch us, we'll be dead. So they rode like the wind. The chase lasted about a mile, but they gave up after a while. Then Paul said, that Springfield dead ahead. We prepare yourselves, sis, for a trial. Well, the fever had burned his body dry. He couldn't speak although he tried. Then she kissed the hand of her dying man and turned away to cry. Well, his battle dress was blue. To the Union cause he was true. Now he rests on a hill by a town called Fayetteville, a southern Yankee through and through.
Folks, this song was written by Jim Wolford that married Betty Jo Huffines of Crane here. This was her great-grandpa that died shortly after the Battle of Wilson Creek. It was fought August the 10th, 1861, 12 miles southwest of Springfield. That was Betty Jo Huffine, his great-grandpa, which was Grandpa Rhodes. And her great-grandmother rode a horse from Bearville, Arkansas, to Springfield, and carried a tiny baby to see her husband, which was only 21 years old, and a while before he died. And her father went along with her, which was Grandpa Long, my great-grandfather, this Glen Rickman talking. Of course, they contacted these bushwhackers, but they outrun them, but they got to Springfield a short time before her 21-year-old husband died, and she got to hold his hand and say a few words, which he couldn't talk, but he passed away and was buried in Fayetteville, Arkansas, although he was as the song says, a Southern Yankee. So that's it.
That's good. That's glad to hear it. Now, who's this Jim Walker that wrote the song?
Well, Jim married Betty Jo Huffine.
Does he live here, or where's he from?
He lives at up close to Lee Summit, Missouri.
Oh,
And Jim lives on the farm. Him and Betty Jo, they've been here. They was here about a year ago, and me and him played quite a bit. He's pretty good on the guitar. So Betty Jo, her mother was Bird Rickman. She married Huffine. And now Betty Jo's grandmother, and Betty Jo's great-grandmother was the sister to Dewey Short's mother. So that was Aunt Vining. Aunt Vining, Aunt Mealy, and Granny Rickman. Oh, there's 3 Longs married 3 Shorts.
Yeah.
But anyhow, your tape's still going there.
Yeah.
I'm going to see what's behind this. We may want to put this on here, and then you just let your tape run.
Yeah, that's fine.
Start off with this bunch of tunes, and I won't have no more of Archie Gold, but I'm starting off this old Arkansas boy. Oh, as I've stated on the other tape, I'm trying to put all the tunes on there, celebrating my dad, Pug Rickman, buying me the fiddle 50 years ago in December, Hurley, Missouri, from Alfred Wilson. So I'm starting off this old Arkansas boy on this side, and the tune is Take Me Back to Tulsa.
Does good, but when it's a tape from a tape, you know, listen to the mind loses a little bit.
Yeah.
Where were you when we had this new Brickle? Second, was this at your house? Or?
Well, yeah, it was made at our house. Some of it was made in Potter, but I don't believe I've got any of it. Me and him made.
You used to go down there and play with him down at Potter?
He was a brakeman. Conductor.
Oh, you went through, that's right. Sure, you were on the railroad. You went through there. That's right. That's right.
Cut that off. Oh,
Then I went out here.
I just
Every man trying to control his sheepdog hers, and he's going to clear the tail. And Quinn, yeah.
Oh, now shut yours down, and I'm going to.
There you go. So good. Yeah.
Dave Frank.
Oh, you know who I was thinking of a while ago? That was the grandfather, was Jack's father.
Father, on Uncle Jack Short's father's name was Was Uncle Johnny Short.
Well, that's the one I was thinking of, because
Jay Frank's grandmother, Dad went to school with her. I saw an old school several years ago, and Betty Green was her name. That tape ain't going, is it?
here I turned off. Well, when you were born in Hurley?
2 miles east of Hurley, in an old house like Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah. And you grew up there?
On a farm. On this side of Hurley, where there's a concrete spring house on your right coming this way. Right in front down the slope from the house. And I plowed corn where that high school is, and I went down with that wheat field when there wasn't a house in that bottom.
Okay.
And I plowed corn up and down that bottom when I was 15 years old. And they started building down through there in 1970. See what it is. That's Harsh Washington.
Well, that does rewind fast, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, who'd you used to go up to Clever, you said?
Yeah, Uncle Brackwater. I lived a barn there. When I was about 11, 12 years old, well, up to Uncle Brack was there in 1918. But it was all down the flu then, and he sold his, went to the cafe, sold that.
That was when the influenza ate, that was
Yeah. I knew the Wampers and the Deeds and the Luther Rickman. He run the pump house there. They had a water tank. That was Lena's dad, Lena Little.
Now there was a Davis. Now Mona's, my wife's great grandfather had a liver stable there in Clever too. I think it was W.R. Davis or something like that.
I remember Ernest Davis and he married Williams, Wendy Williams.
Yeah.
Let me see. What I was trying to find is some stories on there.
Those are all entries there. The tapes are all over here on the right side now.
Oh, is that still going?
Yeah, I got it going now. We're going to talk about.
Well, we talked about the Civil War, and of course I was raised up there early, and there's quite a few of them around there. And in fact, I run a dray wagon, 1922 and 23. When they was all sat around the stove, there in the store, old Doc Wilson run the store. Some of the poor fellows hard to hear. They didn't want to tell something the time you get around the stove. They'd all take a fresh chew tobacco and spit it in a box full of ashes. Why, they'd kind of get their tails mixed up. But one real interesting old soldier, Union soldier, he was 15 years old, and they lived in Georgia. Well, there's a bunch of Confederates started to the front, and his granddad told him to cure them, and he wouldn't cure them. So he said they're on the wrong side, and his granddad made at him with a switch to whip him, and he met him with a pocket knife, and his granddad, of course, he took backwater. Well, he left home. Now, I got this right from old Uncle John Young, we called him. Then we called him all him old soldier's uncle. And he went and traveled of the night, him and another boy, slept for the day till he got to the Union Army. And he joined the Union Army. He was 15 years old. And I had Barnes's history, old Redback Barnes's history when I was in the 8th grade, that kind of history I had. And I asked him, I said, Uncle John, what branch service did you in? He said, the infantry, carried a musket. And I said, was you in quite a bit of action? Well, he's Battle of Chancellorsville, Lookout Mountain, Chickamauga, and Nashville. And I said, wait a minute, describe the Battle of Nashville. Well, he almost recited that topic and that history. And I said, Uncle John, if you was going to school today, you wouldn't have to study your lesson. He told General John B. Hood, commanded the Confederate Army, where they come into Nashville, and where General Hooker, under him, where they hit him, you know. And anyhow, now my wife's grandfather, great-granddad, Jim Flood, he's buried right across the river from Hootentown, buried there in 1902. Well, they left Ireland in 1854, and Grandpa Jim was 10 years old. Well, mid-sea, his mother died in Ireland. So him and his two little sisters and his daddy left for the new country. Well, about mid-Atlantic, his daddy died. They buried him at sea, and they landed on the coast of Georgia. I got this story from about 30-some years ago from his son, which was an old man then. And they landed on the coast of Georgia, and he never did see his two little sisters no more, but he went to work for an old plantation owner. And 7 years later, he's 17 years old, the war broke out. And there's a fellow up recruiting men for the Confederate Army. And he said, we'll whip the North in 30 days because all there is up there is flannel-mouthed Irish and flop-eared Dutch. So Grandpa Jim, he jumped up and gave him to understand he could whip anybody in the crowd. He's from Ireland. Well, the shooting started. They shot him through the leg, and he hid under some long bunch of gooseberry briars. Him and another kid with him, and this old plantation owner's daughter was sweet on him, and she carried him medicine, it's a small flesh wound, and stuff to eat for a few days. And they done the same thing. They traveled overnight, slept for the day till they got to the Union Army, and seemed to me like he said they got over in Kentucky before they contacted the Union Army and they joined. And he was at Wilson Creek, and he raised his family back east of Hurley there. And my wife's grandmother was a Flood. She was one of his daughters, raised a big family of them. They're all dead and gone. But anyhow, that taking care of that side. But on Grandpa Rickman's side, his mother's folks they come from Scotland. Their name was Pace. I guess they left the MAC off when they come over. And I've heard Dad tell about Uncle John Gidd. He was a peculiar character. He was in the Rebel Army, him and three of more of his brothers at Wilson Creek, and they had another brother in the Union Army. Well, I've heard Dad tell about, said he'd sat on Uncle John Gidd's lap. Uncle John Gidd is under a wagon, hid. And the platoon officer come along, I figure it's platoon leader, and told him to get out from under the wagon and get where the fighting was. And Uncle John Gidd told him, well, said, in the first place, I ain't mad at nobody. Second place, said, man, go out there and get killed. And he made the excuse to get a drink. Well, he slid off over a bank where there's a spring. There sat a Union soldier. And he said, well, hello, John. Said, sit here with me. Said, this is the safest place we can find. They knew each other well.
Yeah.
They sat there and visited while the Battle of Wilson Creek was going on. But Grandpa's had 3 cousins, Nels, Bill, and Sam Rickman from Wilson Creek fight. And then I don't know where it's the same unit or where they got in another unit, but at P Ridge, Nels was killed. Well, Nels got a leg shot off. Sam was killed, and Bill was shot plumb through. Now, they was cousins, Grandpa. But Grandpa's had a brother, Uncle Dave, was with General Sherman, from start to finish. And they was, in this part of the country, they was the daddy of, the granddaddy of the Aoshides. I never did see the old man once. I was a small kid. He was General Sherman. And then Mendenhall, the granddaddy and daddy, he was with General Sherman. There's 3 in this bunch right here. But anyhow, old Uncle John was telling me about, said he went out from camp to pick some dewberries. He was slim. He said he stooped over and they started shooting at him. The rebel did. He didn't know anywhere he spoke. But he said he's like shooting at the edge of a shingle. But he got his handful of dewberries and he took off and run back to camp and never touched him. But he said they put a fellow on the guard one night with the name of Callison. And they told him, halt 3 times, Callison, and if they don't stop, shoot. Well, of course, Callison kind of misunderstood, and there's 2 of the Union soldiers have been out, I think, foraging for something to eat. And they was coming in, it was after dark, and Callison hollered, halt 3 times, damn you, bang, cut down on him. It wasn't halt.
Just halt 3 times.
Halt 3 times, damn you, cut down on him, but he missed it. But old Uncle John Young, and there was Tobe Sims and Clay Sims and John Young and Buck Spears and old John McClellan, old Jim Cox, old Fighting Jim, he called himself. And
These are at Hurley?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was Ben Smalley, and old man Childers used to go on the fox hunt and cook for him. He used to awful hard to hear him. And he said at the Battle of Missionary Ridge, no, Chickamauga, he saw fellas with tongues swelled out of their head and biting powder charge off, no water. And but anyhow, them old fellas, I really just lived it right along with them. They're all dead and gone.
What do you suppose determined which side they went on? Because they were from this area around in here,
Well, I knew one Confederate soldier, and he had his arm shot off. And my oldest boy, the first wife's great-grandfather, and I saw him. And then there was an old fellow by the name of Vermillion, there at Hurley, and he deserted the rebel army just before the war was over and joined the Union. Well, in 1923, he got a pension. It took him all them years. Well, old Fighting Jim had 2 horses shot from under him at Vicksburg, and he showed me a picture, 17-year-old. And we almost saw the manual of sabers with 2 walking canes. They was both old walking cane and old Fighting Jim come in the barber shop, and he said, well, you deserted the Confederate Army and joined ours just before the war was over. Now you've got your pension. Said to think more of all the Confederates to do you because you deserted. And this old man got up and he had his cane and old Jim his. And me and John McCall, I was 22 years old. Me and John, the barbers, we had to get there and stop the Civil War from starting again.
Did you know C. Benton Manley lived up around Wilson Creek? Manley's lived on the battlefield.
No.
Well, but he told when he was a boy that Wilson Creek, the little town that used to be there, that these old veterans would get together, and he said there's a few times that there were some knives drawn. They get to talking too much and some tempers would get, and they'd have to get in there and separate them. Of course, these very elderly men, but boy, they were ready to fight again.
But anyhow, now the only old Confederate soldier I ever knew was Mr. Thompson, and then the old man Vermillion. Old Jim, Fighting Jim, as called him, he lived with himself. They'd have dances. He would, when on pension, and he'd go to Springfield out in saloons there, and he'd come back with a jug, a gallon jug. And we'd, all of us boys get together, and the girls, and he'd have dances up to his house. I was playing for dances then, about 15, 16 years old. I had a cousin about the same age, played the guitar. So, old Jim sat there and have that jug of whiskey in. He said, all right, you boys all line up. He says, any Democrats in the bunch, step out of line because you don't get no liquor. Well, they was all Republicans.
They'd all be Republicans, wouldn't they?
Yeah, that jug. But anyhow, there's one, Fred Hurst. Fred died a few years ago. He was one of the old fiddlers, and his dad was. And his dad wanted him, said, to go up to old Jim Cox one night, said they're having dances. Said there's two boys, said they're getting pretty good. Said there's Pug Rickman's boy and Brack Wilder wants you to hear them play. Of course, old Jim lived himself, and Fred told that lots of times. Said they got close to the house and they could hear the feet stomping, and every little bit they'd hear Willie Shamlin say, "Swing your hard." Willie talked right fine, just calling on. And Fred said you could cut a hunk of dust out of the air. He was stomping the. They're talking about the people around the neighborhood, you know, they're close to Hurley. Dad said, well, he named a certain person, said he's a good fella. And this Joe Short, he's a cousin to Dewey. Joe said yes if he had any sense. And Dad said, well, he never did have any sense. And Joe said, no, he wouldn't have if he did. And I'll never forget that expression. And about two fellas are loading a barrel, one guy loading a barrel of salt in the wagon. And he's having the time of it, and two old timers sat there, and one of them said, Steve ain't the man he used to be. And the other one said, no, he never was. And then another one was my granddad. He always said a fellow that'd steal for you would steal from you. And honesty is the best policy. And old Quinn Gardner, Quinn had a lot of that old homespun philosophy. Quinn said where the old horse saddles, the colts will pace a little. He meant, you know, they didn't hurt stuff. Yeah. Oh, and I heard Quinn's brother, he died here, some time ago. He was 92 years old. He ain't been dead more than a year. And I met him down here on the street, shook hands with him just while before he died. He said he's 92 years old. And he said, I'm like, he told us old fellow's name. He joined the church and he got up to testify. Said he stood there a little while trying to think of something to say, and he said, well, I'm here, and I'm glad I'm here. I said, now. And this old boy said, but he told me another one. Said he heard an old lady say one time that it took all kinds of people to make a world, and thank the Lord I'm not one of them.
Yeah.
And another one that was, yeah, she didn't think anybody was living right in their church. It's me and John, sometimes I doubt John. But anyhow, this old lady, she worked for us when I was, married. And Mommy was sick. Mommy said one time, she told her, said, well, what are you doing? And she said, there's so much clash and talk in this neighborhood, I don't think I'll set a hen this spring. And another one during the Depression, back over east of Hurley, it's kind of an uproar in the neighborhood. And oh boy, they asked him how everything was over in his part of the country. He said, there's two things you didn't hear, and that is the truth and me to fry.
That's putting it right.
Over in that neighborhood.
Say, what about, a place it always has interested me because it was a situation that happened a lot of times. Of course, the churches used to really be the center of all social activity in these communities.
Yeah.
And the young people nowadays don't realize that each community was its own little world.
Uh-huh.
And if you crossed the lines, sometimes that could cause some trouble. But there's the place called Bloody Ridge Church over here by.
They changed that to Union Ridge.
It's Union Ridge now, yeah. But I have really heard some wild tales about that. In fact, I have one woman that wouldn't talk about it. She said, I just won't talk about it. But I guess that got pretty rough over there.
Yeah, I thought I got cut up pretty bad tonight. If you shut that down, I'll tell you more about Bloody Ridge.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, that's right.
I hear I've turned it back on, because you're through with those stories, aren't you?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Well, I tell you, if you got any more, we'll just leave the names off. That's still more of the way things were, you know. And
yeah, that's right.
and that's because kind of me, and you know, the names aren't that important anyway, because those people are all gone.
This story that I've had to tell before, and I'd heard this old guy tell so much, and he hadn't been around as much. He's dead and gone. Him and another fellow was handling fine stallions and jacks up Christian County during World War I. That's when they used artillery, horses, artillery, and all that. Some cavalry, and there's quite a demand for horses and mules. Well, him and this fellow, they lived together there. They tended to all these horses. Of course, neither one of them had a wife at the time. And they had an old Jenny froze to death in 1917. A big blizzard there. It was 6 below zero. They went out. That old Jenny was laying there. She got down, couldn't get up. She served her purpose. And he said, this one of these fellows say, he said, I got to go call either Billings or Republic. Now you see, that has been 59 years ago. And all involved is done and gone on to that uncovered country. Yeah. But anyhow, said to get some insurance. Jenny killed a lightning. Well, this other guy, he protested. He said, well, it's not lightning, it's August. And here it is almost Christmas. Well, he said, you just leave it to me. Well, he went and called the field man now, Republic, Billings, one of them places. Well, after a while, they drove up down close to Clever. 6 below zero, all wrapped up, big overcoat, lap robe, and we got out and come in, hovered around the old wood stove. And the fellow, he explained about the Jenny, and he said, no, I can't consider that case at all. Well, he said, do you ever take a drink? Well, he said, sometimes when it's as cold as it is now. And this other guy said if he had a quart of Babe's Best. Babe Kerr run a saloon in Springfield, Kelly and Kerr, and they'll call Babe's Best. I've heard the old timers talk about it, come out of barrel number 10. I don't know what barrel number 10 was. But anyhow, they called it Robeson County Rye. Sold for 75 cents a quart. So he said they handed him this quart of Babe's Best, and he took a pretty good shot and talked a while and hovered around the old wood stove. And finally, he got the 4th slug down, and he said, let's go out and look this case over. Well, they went out, walked around the old Jenny, and he kicked her with his foot, just like kicking the sidewalk. She froze hard. Well, this fellow, he says, you'd better take another one. Says, you know, that flu's killing a lot of people. And said he really lowered that quart of Babe's Best. A few minutes, he said, gentlemen, he said, I begin to see signs of lightning. Well, he said, since I've studied over, he said, the scene has changed quite a bit since I come a while ago. He said, the Jenny was evidently killed with lightning. Don't think there's any question. So they went to the house. They said he was hiring a kayak, but he managed to sit down and write him a check $150 for the Jenny that's killed with lightning. And this old guy, of course, some people have known him, but this rigmarole, but he always added a lot. He said, the case is closed. John Brown's dead, the big day's over. Jenny's killed by lightning, said any fun this evening.
Well, they had a sense of humor then, didn't they?
Yeah.
And
Now this fellow that come over that Rickman, he's raised in Stone County. And he's an old man when he died. When they got out this corn and hog program, of course, he died in war Republican, but the times was awful hard there under Hoover. and he wanted to strip Hoover off stark naked and put his head in a vise and throw a hornet's nest under it. Well, when Roosevelt was elected, they got this corn and hog program started, you know, to pay you so much not to raise hogs and all of that. Well, he really thought now he's going to get some money. He went to the bank down here at Crane to get his, he heard the checks had come. Well, he got his at 87 cents. Well, the cashier was a Democrat. He throwed it back to him and said, I guess if I was a damn rebel, you'd pay me something. Said, a little old check like that, he said, I'd like to keep 2 old sows up 2 weeks. He said, to suckling a bunch of pigs and not feed them back. Tie Roosevelt right flat on his back and mix up about 2 big slop buckets full of good, rich, sweet milk and shorts, pour them all over and turn them old sows. I guess that was reminded him of that little check, you know, that little sows, easy bucks, of course, and all that.
Well, listen, I've been here an hour and 15 minutes. I didn't mean to take this much of your time, but I sure
my time don't mean a thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
You suppose if I went out and brought my guitar in, we could try just one?
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Well, but here, now, you remember now, I'm an amateur. I just wanted to see it. Tell this, see, when I go over to
well, I guess
Ozark, I can watch other people. I'll be on my own here.
I guess you've got yours tuned for...
No, I found out if I put that clamp on the first fret, I'm in tune with you.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I'm in. Now that's to play D, which I would play like C. See?
Let me see. This
that puts me. I found out with that tape I made the other night that puts me in key with him. See, I've been banished to the basement for 20 years with my guitar, and I've never played around anybody. Well, that's bad because you don't know what you're.
I hope that's all right.
Now, what are you in there?
This goes right like that.
No, I ain't getting the wrong.
Well, you're...
Now I've got that clamp on. You want me to take that off? Or?
No, wait a minute. Go ahead and hit a chord.
Hit D. You hit D again. Hit. Yeah, but listen, I'm so amateur. I don't know. Once I learned the song, see, really, I'm suddenly all excited because here I got nerve enough to play with that bunch I was telling you, and now I just love it, see, because I've been doing this in baseball, and I don't know the songs in the trouble. I tell you, what was the one you played where you keep going back to? What was that? Fiddler, let's see.
Waltz Indian?
Yeah. Well, I've got her going. I already flipped it on, I think.
It's already...
I'm going, yeah.
Oh,
No, that wasn't what I was thinking about. See, I got to learn these names now. I've got to worn that tape out already. We had the other.
We'll stay with the E and D then.
Well, I can, that's the way I can pick the best. Of course, I'm in C with my fingers, you know. I got that that clamp on.
Listen, we play Big Muddy. I'm playing a D though.
Yeah.
How about Hell Among the Yearlings?
Maybe that's you cut down to, now of course I'm saying this because I'm playing it in, my fingers are in C, let's see, that'd be D, and then you go to, well I'm fingering like in G, but it'd be to A, and then you jump up to, back up, and then back down, but I lose my timing in there just a little bit.
I wish Archie had been off so he could come down today.
I'd be saying F if I was in C.
No, I've got nothing to do with it.
Well, no, I mean, my hands are in, my position of my fingers with that clamp on, I'm playing in C. As far as my fingers, it's D, key of D, but I'm picking like in C. I don't know a lot of these songs, so that's what...
Let me see now, I'll try, I'll play some of the key of G now.
Are you in straight G? I don't know where I hit G on this thing. I've got this clamp on here.
I'll try that Stony Point.
Oh, wait, I'm not on here, Glenn. I've got my clamp on. I don't even know where G would be on this thing. Let's see, hit it again. Hit G again. Let me see that. Oh, it's F. It'd be the finger like that.
Would it?
Yeah. F like that. Oh, I wish I could think of these songs here on those tapes the other
Let
night.
me see, let's try,
Well, now let's see. He played the 8th of January. What was it, Howard? I mean, Harold, like the 8th of January, was it?
that's in D.
Well, now if I took this, let me see how you're keyed. If I took this clamp off, am I in with you then and say, now here's G? I'm not in with you, am I?
No.
You got her keyed up, I mean, tuned up on it. See, I don't know anything about music.
I can, the guitar, you could tune it with this, you know, and you don't need no
Oh,
clamp.
here. Well, it takes a long to get her tuned now. I'll just. Oh, hey, it won't take but a second here. Let me just tune with you here.
Huh?
Let me just tune with you here.
You tune your, put your E string, you know, down your finger on that dot.
Yeah, I know how to go across with it. Now, there's my bottom string. I need to come. Oh, let me just put the clamp on. Oh, sometime when we have a little more time, I'll tune it to you. But see this? Now, I can play in A because when F throws me, I don't know where to go in F. And then when you hit those off ones now, like in, now I know how to do it when I'm playing my fingers in C or when I'm in G. What's that? That's A, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll play the first tune and have a truck on fiddle. Devilish Mary.
I'm probably messing you up.
No, that was me, that. Wonder if it would get.
I saw Sam Mitchell coming around the block, and I thought he was going to come in here, and I come and got your half a pint and put it up in the cabinet.
I didn't have
A
fun.
pint. And put it up in the cabinet, but he went on around the block.
Well, if Sam would come in and
There
stop.
would have been none of it left. That's the reason I did.
Okay.
Was he didn't walking, Troy?
I did.
Well, you could tell if he's walking, couldn't you?
Now he's running. He's running. He's walking.
Here is Stony Point in A, like Gid Tanner plays it, Roddy Puckett.
Okay, where'd you go there? I messed up. You're going.
I don't know.
Maybe you're going to do. Let's do that again. I like that. I'm partial to those. What would those be? What's a schottisch and all that? See, I don't know any of these. What would that be called?
That's just a jig.
Okay, jig. That's fine. Yeah, jigs are what I'm really partial to.
On bus for Feather.
Let me switch this real quick and then I'll. Let me see here. And the other times I'm around big groups, you know, and of course I like to catch them with that Archie here sometime.
Maybe we can sometime.
Oh, well, someday, you know.
See, I'm playing in A.
Oh, yeah, there's A on this. I've got the fingers like a G.
Let me see, I don't know, I can't think what else to make. Yeah, Carroll County Blues.
It's wonder it don't mess you up because
I was putting in a little extra like that.
yeah.
Playing like
What is? I really did like this one. It was right after you played that Lost Indian the other night, and it was. But I had to go from
the Lost Indian,
and then it switched kind of open to an open key, and then.
Peacock Rag.
Don't know. Go ahead. I'll try to get out. I know where you were going. Okay. o'clock. I hadn't planned it. I better be heading on. I told Mona I'd be home around 4:30.
Just maybe I'll see what we got right here.
Oh, I can sit here all night now once we started this. Yeah. I better catch this the next. What, are you looking for something in particular?
Yeah.
Something else. I'm going to get both of you on one of these days, or some of the old songs. Oh. My wife, poor Mona, she can't even get, well, I shouldn't turn the tape on. She might hear it. She can't even sing on the road. Her dad tried to, her mother had to take voice lessons, and one became too clever. One of those, Parker, was that their name? They used to do the singing stuff. And they said they just gave their money back. There's no way.
I've just about got this as just a little bit of 3 or 4, and now I don't know whether they're making fun of it, but then half of them said I sound like Merle Haggard when I put them on there. But I told them, I think I told them any imitation of a singer, well, that's a coincidence too.
He made that one time when I was going to town.
I think I'm about there.
Oh, I love to sing. I do. I'm no singer, but I love it.
Now, this is Memorex tape that he's got.
What did you say, George?
This is Memorex tape that he's got.
But you know, now here, I want some tape on sale, and it's right here. It's some off-brand called Universal. And I got
you lay that fiddle down in your now.
3 of these for, I don't know, real cheap. I thought, well, I'll just do this for talking. And that was what I had on the other night when Harold, because I had to hurry to get all aboard and come down here. And my gosh, it came out real good. And I'm going to check into it again, because it's half the price of this Memorex and all these. And these tapes are getting so high. See, they're all getting so high.
Now, James.
Gordon.
Think of James Owen.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that made me think. I never did play James Owen's old Waltz and See. Oh, now you just put that on there.
Okay.
You got it going?
Yeah, going now.
All right. I thought of 3 songs, about 2 verses each. I used to sing when me and Shorty was riding around in a rubber-tarred buggy together before we were married. So I transferred this tape to this new tape, and I put it on here the 8th day of August as our wedding anniversary. We'd been married 47 years. And while she was going to town, I hooked the mic up and thought I'd reinstate some of that trying to sing that I did 47 years ago. So here's the outcome of the whole deal. So here we go. Old Deacon Johnson was a preaching man, a black sky pilot of old Dixieland. He'd never missed a Sunday, rain or shine. Was always in the pulpit right on time. One day a dark and damsel blowed in town. Somebody started scandalation round. Next Sunday morning they found the church door locked. This was the only word the deacon left his lonely flock. It takes a long, tall, brown-skinned gal to make a preacher lay his Bible down. For 20 years I've passed joy by, but now I'm gonna get mine till I die. I always thought that preaching was my line, but since I met this gal, I've changed my mind. It takes a long, tall, brown-skinned gal to make a preacher lay his Bible down. The deacon left and took his brown away. The congregation tried to make him stay. They promised him if he would not leave town, they wouldn't come between him and his rallied and declared at last, there ain't no use, my preaching days are past. I never realized where heaven lies till the day when I look down into my baby's eyes. It takes a long, tall, brown-skinned gal to make a preacher lay his Bible down. That's it. The United Cigar Stores are giving away thousands and thousands of coupons each day. You can get good things for nothing, you just bet your life. You can get good things good for nothing, 'cause I've got a wife. And I'm saving up coupons to get one of those, with a couponerita sold, I suppose. There's a cute little casket as the catalog shows, but I'm saving up coupons to get one of those. My brother got married right off of the reel, saved up enough coupons for an automobile, and the day that he got it from smoking he died. From the house to the graveyard was his only ride. And his wife, she got married, no time did she lose, and another guy stepped into poor brother's shoes. And every evening it's plain to be seen, you can see them out riding in brother's machine. And when they're out riding, I wish the darn thing would explode, but I'm saving up coupons to get one of those. Me and my wife, we were married, lived in a cute little flat. All that we've got is a dog and a cat, and the lady next door is just chock full of joy, 'cause the storeman brought her a big baby boy. And I'm saving up coupons to get one of those, but I'm so darn unlucky it'll be twins, I suppose. But it's better than triplets, the Lord only knows. I'm saving up coupons to get one of those. It was down in Tennessee where that jazzy melody originated and waited for popularity. Now in every cabaret, it's the only thing they play. I want to hear it, must be near it, that's why I say, take me to that land of jazz. Let me hear the kind of blues that Memphis has. I want to step to a tune that's full of ginger and pep. Pick 'em up and lay 'em down. Learn to do the razzmatazz. Let me give you warning, I won't be home until morning. For everybody's full of jazz, though, in the loving land of jazz. There is music in each breeze, even trombones grow on trees. You hear 'em moaning and groaning, those tuneful harmonies. Every cotton flatter's son, when he meets his loving hun, he simply passes and requested to join the fun. So take me to that land of jazz. I want to hear the kind of blues that Memphis has. I want to step to a tune that's full of ginger and pep. Pick 'em up and lay 'em down. Learn to do the razzmatazz. Let me give you warning, I won't be home until morning. For everybody's full of jazz, bow, in the loving land of jazz. This is
Never hear that.
August 8, 1969, mine and Shorty's wedding anniversary. And any imitation of a singer whatsoever is purely coincidental. 47 years ago today we were married, so that's it. Here's another song I used to try to sing about that time, and I'll put it on now, and then you won't have to listen at me try to sing anymore. But I just thought of this one from memory, and so here we go. Here's one. Thousands of years ago, I lived in Lord, out on an island on Oh. Well, I guess that's all of that.
Yeah, I better get I'm gonna be heading on here, but I sure have had a good time. Let me put this back in the case here.
What did the Shorty do with the fiddle? Shorty, what did you do with the fiddle? Shorty, what did you do with the fiddle?
Put it in your arm, Dave.
Oh, what?
This is called strong will, and I love to stay here in places where we've got to go to the party tonight, and one of our friends is 40th. No, 40th birthday.
Oh, that, you know, Gordon, Gordon, that singing that I've been trying to sing, what I learned,
You did a good job myself.
now, on the original tape that I put that on and transferred it to this, it makes it a little flat in places.
Well,
The first deal on tape is the best thing.
oh, definitely.
Anytime
Definitely. Yeah. Now, yeah, tape from a tape, you're pushing a little too, at least with these cassette recorders. That's, I'm going to go ahead and put mine up here now. This will